Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Anbiya'i wal Mursaleen. Wa ala alihi wa ahlihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. It doesn't work, right? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and very respected friends and colleagues sitting in the first row, and I can see some of them in the second row and beyond as well. This is not working. All right. Okay. First of all, I would like to congratulate Al Kauthar University for organizing this wonderful event. The topic is apt, Faith and Future Summit. And I'm also thankful to the organizers for giving me this opportunity to share some of my ideas around Islamic social finance. As we are aware that Islamic banking and finance is a considerable phenomenon around the world. There are about 17 countries where Islamic banking and finance is systemically important according to IMF, and Pakistan is one of them. While Islamic banking and finance has prospered and progressed around the world, and it has started giving benefits to those who are involved in Islamic banking and finance, Islamic social finance, emphasis on it is a rather recent phenomenon. And I would say that a real emphasis on Islamic social finance started only during COVID. And after COVID-19, we have started seeing a lot of activity in this respect. Because in this Faith and Future Summit, technology is not helping, so I would not refer to my presentation. I know what I'm going to say. In the next 15 to 20 minutes, I would be focusing on highlighting Makasid Sharia in the context of developing a modern social finance. Those who are involved in Islamic banking and finance, they are aware of Makasid Sharia, because Makasid Sharia is very frequently used phrase and term in this circle. Makasid Sharia are numerous. Okay. However, Imam Shatibi is given the credit of summarizing Makasid Sharia into a systematic framework, and he has come up with 5 basic Maqasid Sharia. The first one is protection of faith. The word faith over here. Protection of faith is number 1 higher objective of Sharia. Hifzun Nasl, protection, Hifzun Nafs, protection of life. Protection of Mal, protection of wealth. This is number 3. Hifzul Aql, protection of intellect. And the 5th one is Hifzun Nasl or Hifzul Sharf, which is the protection of dignity. Okay. So if we summarize, and this is my conclusion, if we summarize all these 5 objectives of Sharia, dignity is the one which is relevant to social finance. Right? Because without dignity, whatever progress we have, this would not have the true meanings. And this is a concept which is becoming very popular in the economic literature as well. An increasing number of papers and research is dedicated to the concept of economic dignity. Amartya Sen, he actually introduced the concept of dignity in economic literature. And one of his American colleagues, Martha Nubeson, she is responsible for bringing economic dignity in the context of creating financial capabilities. And now there is a huge literature which is emerging in the context of theory, but more importantly in the context of policy. A number of policy making institutions, including multilaterals, the likes of World Bank, IMF, United Nations, etc., they are adopting this framework based on economic dignity. And this is something we have to look into if we want to develop a modern social finance or Islamic social finance in a modern context. The concept of economic dignity must be looked into from a Makasid Sharia viewpoint. And when we look into conceptions which underlying certain concepts, then we have the good understanding of the concept itself. Like, Maqasid Sharia, which is the main topic of my presentation over here. Whenever we refer to Maqasid Sharia, this classification of 5 things comes into our mind. And when we refer to Deen, this normally is Islamic faith. But this may not necessarily be the Islamic faith only. It is faith in general. When we look at the concept of faith in a plural society, faith involves faith of Christians as well, faith of Jewish faith, and other valid faiths in the world. So Sharia actually attempts to preserve and protect faith. And I live in United Kingdom, we can actually relate to this thing. For us, it is equally important that Christian faith is preserved as well, because we face a competition from non-faith. So there is a brotherhood between Muslims and Christian when it comes to preserving faith. And this is one of the Maqasid Sharia, not just confining ourselves to the Islamic faith, but faith in general. Similarly, when we refer to Hifzun Nafs, so normally it comes to the individual, protection of individual. But now a lot of literature is coming out which would suggest that Sharia actually attempts to protect and preserve life in general, the life on the planet and beyond. And environmental concerns, they are actually part of this protection and preservation of life. And when it comes to the last point, which is the dignity, Hifzun Nasl, it's dignity in general. Without dignity, if we have economic prosperity, this would not lead to a society where everyone would like to live. And dignity, as Dr. Amjad Saqib mentioned in a different context, this is about a lot of choices. This is about freedom. And this is an important aspect of the development itself. Right? If we don't have freedom, if we don't have access to justice, and if we don't have relief from the hardship, then whatever progress we have made, that would be limited. I would like to refer to a very interesting and a very thought-provoking statement which was made by Amir bin Rabi, when he went to the court of Rustam at the time of the Battle of Qadisiyah. That gives us, and that should give us some implications for developing a new framework for the Makasid Sharia in the context of social finance. So when Rustam asked him, why have you come to our part of the world? And he said, we haven't come, ma ji'na, balillahu ibta'athana linukhrij al-ibada min ibadati min ibadati al-ibadi ila ibadati rabbil ibad wa min jawr al-adyani ila adl al-islami wa min dhiq ad-dunya ila si'at al-akhir. So this is a very powerful statement which was made by a Muslim representative, and it should have implications for our modern society as well. So he said, we haven't come, but Allah has sent us to take out the people from worshipping. This is the limited kind of meaning, from the slavery of human beings to the slavery of the Lord of human beings, and also take out the people from the injustice of other systems into the justice of Islam, and from the hardship of this world to the relief of the hereafter. So three concepts, they emerge from this very powerful statement. Maqasid Sharia are about freedom. They are about justice, and they are about relief. If any economic activity doesn't provide freedom, freedom of choice in economic terms, in social terms, in psychological terms, in political terms, or in any other terms, this is incomplete. Justice is very important. Justice is basis of all the fairness, and of course hardship coming out of this one in the form of relief. Islamic social finance is all about freedom, justice, and relief. The economic institutions which Islam has recommended and which has been put into practice for very long time, they attempt to achieve the objectives of these three concepts. Qard Hasan, or other forms of voluntary or involuntary contributions coming from zakat and sadaqat. This is a very powerful tool. If this is used to offer freedom to the individuals and communities and families, this would be beneficial. Similarly, the institution of waqf, which is creation of endowments, so that whatever activities we do, this is sustainable. This is an important aspect of Islamic social finance as well. And the third one is Islamic microfinance. So interest-free loans, microfinance, and the institution of waqf. These are three pillars of Islamic social finance. At the end, I would like to put this in the context of Islamic banking and finance. While Islamic banking and finance has become a $6 trillion industry, its social impact is not being felt anywhere. It is a good commercial success story. However, societies and communities, they haven't felt the difference Islamic banking and finance has brought to the societies and to the markets. And here comes the role of Islamic social finance. While Islamic banking and finance is purely a commercial activity driven by the motive of profit, Islamic social finance could be a parallel activity in the other sector, i.e., social sector. And if they work together, complement each other, a society, it would benefit the society in a more comprehensive manner. A lot of times we create a statement which would create a contradiction between Islamic banking and finance and Islamic social finance. When I make a statement that we haven't seen the real social benefits of Islamic banking and finance, it should not be taken as negating the contribution of Islamic banking and finance. It has contributed significantly in one aspect. In addition to the commercial aspect of Islamic banking and finance, probably this is the right time to develop Islamic social finance as well. And these two should work hand in hand and they should complement each other. I would like to congratulate Al Kauthar University for taking the initiative of setting up a Center of Excellence for Islamic social finance. To my knowledge, this is the first attempt by any university in Pakistan. We have a number of universities involved in instruction and training and research in Islamic economics, banking, and finance in Pakistan. However, an exclusive focus on Islamic social finance, this is a new initiative for which Al Kauthar University must be appreciated and congratulated for this one. I hope that this center would contribute to the relevant education as well. Behaviors, they are determined by the concepts. If right kind of concepts are inculcated, are given, or students are exposed to them, they would then become part of the behaviors. And these individuals, the graduates of this university and other universities where these concepts would be taught and the students would be exposed to, they would become agents of change. And this is a new theme in economics. Philosophy plays an important role. Martha Nubeson, she says, and she has been very successful in bringing philosophy into economics. And the role of literature in developing intellectualism. This is an aspect which is being studied in the context of psychological economics. So if we have incorporated Makasid Sharia and modern conceptualization of this one in the context of Islamic social finance, we hope that this would lead to a new generation of the thinkers who would bring innovative ideas to the society, which would bring the required change which we are looking for all the time. Thank you very much, and I hope that all of you enjoy the rest of the conference and forum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.